Hello, everybody. Welcome to Championship Match Week 43. We have played 43. This will be the 43rd match week. 3 to go after this one, and there are some interesting twists with Ipswich dropping points, which opens up the top 6, and with West Brom's point deduction apparently impending, we could have a very interesting relegation battle as well. So, Liam, just a quick word before we start the predictions. What is your opinion on West Brom's potential points penalty?
Well, I may be wrong in saying this, but I'm pretty sure a few years ago there was a rule saying unless a team were to enter administration, the EFL are not allowed to deduct a team points for from March or from the end of March onwards, so April and May. So if that really was a rule, how have they suddenly gone from that to we'll just deduct West Brom points May 7th?
Yeah,
How does that work?
I think it is a joke that it's happened so late in the season. If it was like earlier in the season, maybe like, I don't know, December, November, I'd be like, yeah, I understand. But for it to happen in April when most of the season is done, I think it is a joke. I just think it's a massive waste of time for the teams at the bottom. Because some people at the bottom think like, oh, because we get the points deductions, we're gonna stay up. But I'm sure many fans, at least like, I would prefer staying up by normal means, but it just feels like, in a sense, it's undeserved, and I don't know. It's just the authorities, because I actually had a look on Flash scores, right, and I believe apart from 23-24, there was a points deduction every single season since 17-18. So that is how often points deductions happen in the championship. That is a beyond a joke. There needs to be some serious investigation with the EFL. Way too many teams are getting into financial trouble. I just
Just
think,
trying to think who those teams were. Sheffield Wednesday twice,
yep,
Birmingham at least once. You had Reading, you had Derby, you had Leicester this season, you had Sheffield United last season. Yeah, that's a lot when you put it like that.
yeah, and it's a very common occurrence now. These points deductions, and it's just a waste of time, to be honest. Because if West Brom do get the points deductions, and they do end up going down, that's every single club in the bottom three relegated because of the federation deciding to relegate them. Essentially, I just think it's a joke. But alas, let's get on with the fixtures. Enough about the rant. Let's start off with the Friday night game with Blackburn and Coventry. Coventry could be promoted if they, I believe, get a point in this one. Or win. I believe it's a point. And Blackburn recently suffered a 3-0 defeat to Southampton. So they've slipped down the table a bit to 20th. And I don't see Blackburn getting anything in this one. I think it's going to be poppers for Coventry as they celebrate their promotion to the Premier League. My prediction, I am going to say 2-0 Coventry.
I mean, it's practically impossible for Coventry not to get promoted at this stage. They just need 1 point. And I think, yeah, I mean, maybe Blackburn get an early goal. Did you say 2-0?
I said 2-0, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2-1. I just don't see Blackburn getting anything from this. But here's a little fun fact for you. The previous occasion Coventry got promoted to the Premier League, that was at Ewood Park. How
Mm.
about that?
The stars align, Coventry fans. May well happen again. So we head to the East Midlands for Derby versus Oxford.
Um, so it wouldn't surprise me if Oxford go there and pick up a win. To be honest, despite Derby losing, hope is still there for the playoffs. Same with Wrexham, both did lose, but as did Hull. So Hull are now the team to catch. So I think if Derby want to realistically continue their season, this has to be a win. On paper, it's a fairly nice looking game, but Oxford very resurgent at doing what they can, making a real good go at this. But I think it'll be 6 home wins out of 6 for Derby here. I'm gonna say 2-1.
Yeah, I think the Rams' home form, as you mentioned, is quite difficult to ignore. But obviously, Oxford definitely on the up. Whether they do have enough to survive at the end of the season, I look at their remaining fixtures and I think um, it's doable. Don't get me wrong, but it's a tough ask. Um, and I think I know Oxford have been on a relatively good run as of late. Their only loss since late February being Southampton. So that's what, about 10 games they've only lost once. It's not going to be an easy game for Derby in the slightest. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if Oxford do somehow nick a win. But my prediction, I think Derby will be too strong for them. I'm going to go 2-1 Derby on this one. Now, for uh, Millwall versus QPR. So, Millwall, last time around, drew. QPR last time around, drew. Both 0-0. I think Millwall definitely still have a chance of getting into the top two. And this is something that they need to win. Because QPR are essentially on the beach now. So they have nothing to play for. You'd think that Millwall would get something out of this one. I'm going to say Millwall keep up the pressure on Ipswich. I'm going to go 2-1.
Well, at first I thought Mill will win, but then I realised they're playing QPR, who are just annoying everyone. I think just for the sake of humour, really. Um, I think that may not be the first one, but this first one for a long time where I said 0-0, gave a 0-0 prediction and got it spot on. So thank you very much, QPR. You were boring. Um, so I'm going to add 1 goal to Millwall, 1-0.
And now for a big battle here at the bottom, Portsmouth versus Leicester.
So my head and my heart tell me different things here. My head tells me a Leicester win because it would just be very typical of both sides. But my heart disagrees completely. So I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to say 2-1 home win.
Yeah, Leicester, I think the less you say about them, the better. Obviously, Portsmouth winning midweek against Ipswich definitely doesn't help Leicester. And Portsmouth will definitely go into this with, I think, a bit of motivation. Their first home win in quite a while. And Leicester, if they don't win this, I just don't see a way back for them. I just think Leicester, however hard they try, they do not get wins. Meanwhile, Portsmouth have shown in the last week, that they can get these wins. And I think in terms of this one, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna be confident with Portsmouth here. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 home win. I just think Leicester. I think on paper, Leicester's squad is probably better than Portsmouth's, but I just think I look at Leicester and I think absolutely hopeless. Um, it's just a bit of a club of chaos, and Portsmouth will be comfortably winning this one. Now for Bristol City versus Norwich. Bristol City last time around drew. Norwich last time around lost to Ipswich. Both teams really are on the beach, so I guess it's a case of I look at this and I think home side advantage. Not really much else to think, to be honest. Bristol City 2, Norwich 1.
I mean, yeah, the home advantage, sure, but this is also a Bristol City side who've just constantly been battered at home
Mm.
throughout the season. Well, they're under Hodgson now, who's probably steadied the ship, which is what they needed, really. Just a bit of confidence going through into the summer. But yeah, I mean, these are the games you don't want to predict, where it's just there's nothing to play for. And I've written 2-1 in my section, which was a mistake because that was meant to be in your section. So I'm going to say 1-1.
And Hull versus Birmingham.
Now, Birmingham just beat Wrexham, but they could also do them a huge favour here. Hull must win this, really. There's no two ways about it. So it must win for Hull. Because if they lose it, the risk of dropping out of the playoffs, where they've worked so hard to get into them, the risk is severe. I just thing is, I don't see Birmingham doing too much to Hull. So I'm probably going to just say a 2-0, comfortable 2-0 Hull win.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned before, I'm very concerned by Birmingham's away form over the season. It's been absolutely tragic, and Birmingham will probably want this season to be over. I think it's an underachievement for them this season, and I think they need to rebuild in the summer and go again if they want to have any chance of playoffs. My prediction: 2-0 for Hull. Now for Preston versus West Brom. Uh, with Preston, you don't know. um, Preston did beat Charlton at the Valley, and sitting in pretty much bang on mid-table in 13th. I guess with nothing to play for. West Brom, on the other hand, do have something to play for, and they need to get 3 points quickly because of the points deductions and rising form of Portsmouth and Oxford. Unfortunately, I just see Preston edging this one. I'm going to go 1-0.
You love a 1-0 Preston win. I don't know with this one. And I love a 0-0 with Preston, and I think I'm going to have to sway that way because I just feel like West Brom aren't losing really right now, but Preston are just they're sort of winding me up because I don't know how they're going to perform ever right now. So I'm just going to have to say 0-0 and hope for the best.
Alright, and now this is an interesting one actually. A couple of weeks ago, I'd be thinking Charlton easy win, but you know what? Sheffield Wednesday, they're getting points. I'm gonna say it again. Is this an opportunity for Sheffield Wednesday to get 3 points?
I I think it is. I really, really think it is. And about 20 minutes ago, I thought no chance. But then the longer that the episode's gone on, the more I've been like thinking about this specific fixture. And for some reason, I could see Charlton folding at Hillsborough. I'm just gonna go out there completely. Very last time I'm doing this. 2-1 Sheffield Wednesday.
I I think Charlton are just not getting the final win they need to cross the 50-point mark. It's like really frustrating. I've backed them a couple of times as well to get over that mark, and they just haven't done it. And I don't know because Sheffield Wednesday is getting points against Coventry now, and Sheffield Wednesday could well turn this into a win. But just Sheffield Wednesday, they're probably going to lose. And you know what, Charlton, I'm going to back you again, but don't disappoint me. I'm going to go Sheffield Wednesday 1, Charlton 2. Now, Swansea versus Southampton. Southampton are absolutely flying up the table. They are in 4th, and you know what? Southampton could well get into the top 2 here if Ipswich keep slipping up. Because I definitely do see them finishing above Millwall at the end of the season, and they're already above Middlesbrough. I just think this Southampton rise needs to be studied because they're just beating teams for fun. Um, Obviously, yeah, they've got this FA Cup semi-final as well, so maybe some of the focus could be on that. But you know what? I think Southampton will win this one again. I'm going to go 2-1.
Well, that's annoying because I've put the exact same scoreline. I I don't know where this has come from really. Southampton were just looming around mid-table for quite a while, and then all of a sudden, 17 games later, they're up. Could be in third by the end of this weekend. So just I don't know anymore. I don't know with this stupid league. It's all over the place. 2-1 Southampton.
It's stupid, but we love it at the same time. Like, I mean, from a on paper, on their perspective, I think Southampton should be realistically within the playoffs. I think it was a major disappointment. So, uh, credit to Tonda Eckert for recovering their season and still be within touching distance of promotion. Um, and you know what? I think they're going to push Ipswich to the wire here. I think in the playoffs, it will be them who go up. Swansea, on the other hand, is basically Vipotnik FC. At least that's how I see them. So they can definitely cause trouble through Vipotnik, but they're 14th for a reason. They don't win enough, and yeah, 2-1. Now for another team who hasn't won in recent weeks, it's Watford, and they're playing Sheffield United. Again, both teams are on the beach, pretty much. Neither going up, neither going down. And I just think I have a feeling that Sheffield United will win this one. I just think Watford. You don't know. I feel that this will be an off day. I'm gonna go 2-1 Sheffield United.
I've gone a bit mad with this one. No logic apart from Watford have been rubbish lately. Any slim playoff chance they had is gone. So yeah, I've gone a bit mental. I've gone 3-0 Sheffield United.
Ooh, bold.
Don't call me that. I've got hair.
And now for Wrexham versus Stoke.
Well, I mentioned a must-win for Hull. This is a must-win for Wrexham as well because it's not going to be a nice finish with Coventry and Middlesbrough coming up as well. So yeah, this is a definitely must-win, not a must-not lose. That's the important thing. If they don't win, draw's not good enough for Wrexham. Especially if Hull do pick up a win against Birmingham. Stoke are just like they're just existing at this point, as they do pretty much every season. Um, I just don't see enough goals in this one because Wrexham, well, their goal difference is superior to Hull's, but similar to Derby's. So I think they need to boost that goal difference just in case. But I can only see them boosting it by a maximum of 2 here. So I think I'm going to say 3-1.
Yeah, I think Wrexham obviously. I think Wrexham in recent weeks has been a bit disappointing, especially in their last two. They've leaked 7 goals in their last two, and Wrexham need to sort that out quickly. I I'm not so confident anymore with Wrexham, truth be told. I mean, they're against a Stoke side who will be 16th to 18th yet again this season. That's like the 5th time, I believe. And I do think they'll win this one, but narrowly. I'm going to go 2-1 Wrexham. Now for the big game at the top here. Ipswich versus Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have absolutely tanked and are down to 5th. But Ipswich, they're not getting the wins to pull away. Um, I just think that I have a feeling this will be a disappointing game and uninspiring. I mean, on paper, people would probably back Ipswich here, but in reality, I don't know. I just have a feeling this will be an underwhelming draw, but I don't know because it's at Portman Road. I'm gonna give it a very narrow edge to Ipswich. I'm gonna go 2 goals to 1, but the more I think about it, the more I think a draw. But I'm gonna still lock in 2-1.
Well, Middlesbrough in the last 6 games have taken 146 shots.
Oh
They
my
won
god.
absolutely none of those games. 146 shots in 6 games, 0 wins. Not the record you want going into the running or well into the end of the season. Uh, there's slim chance. I don't think they will, but slim chance they drop out of the playoffs. Just having a look at the table now. 4 clear of Hull in sixth, um, and 8 clear of Wrexham. Now, if Borough just lose every game and Hull, I suppose it doesn't matter what Hull do if Wrexham and Derby both keep winning. But in fact, Wrexham's goal difference is horrendous. Um, so yeah, I mean, it'll take a lot for Middlesbrough to drop out, but I think they'll come scarily close at this rate. I can't see them scoring again. I can't see them having too much more than 10 shots against Ipswich. Um, they'll probably have another 40 now, but I've gone 2-0.
Alright, and your score of the week?
A bit of a late pick because I didn't really know this week. I've gone for a bit of a not lazy, but a bit of a risky sort of just take one out the bag and here you go. I've gone Larin for Southampton.
I have gone for quite a risky one as well. So, I don't think I've picked a Portsmouth player for about 40 weeks. I don't think I've done it at all this season. And I don't. I just think it's more Leicester, really, the state of Leicester. That makes me think a Portsmouth player for score of the week. I just have a sense here that Leicester will be down and out, and Portsmouth will ensure that. My score of the week, Adrian Sigasic. So that is it for yet another week. We shall see you for Matchweek 44. Goodbye.